Hey, what's up? I'm Ed and he's Michael. We're Conquer and Hold. We're a weekly Riftbound talk show where we talk about all the awesome news happening in Riftbound. We also stream every 6:30 at the People's Card Shop Twitch. Come check us out at our Nexus nights. What's today's episode about, Michael?
Today on Conquer and Hold, we're going to go over every comm card 1 to 5, and at the end, a very interesting Ornn deck list that revolves around protecting the king, Ornn himself. As we have been doing, it's a 1 to 5 star review, 1 being trash, 2 is going to be a niche card, 3 is a common card you'll see everywhere, 4 is pretty strong, and 5 is a broken or build-around card.
The first card we're going to talk about is Ornn Shield. It's a 1 energy gear equipment with the equip cost of 1 power, and it gives the unit tank and +1 might.
I want to say 3, but I'm going to say 4. I feel like tank is a crazy keyword. 1 mana, and it's also 1 additional buff and tank. Think about lecturing Yordle. It's just 2 might and tank, and he feels so strong. Repeatedly putting tank on stuff has to be good. Next off, 1 mana, 1 power, Poro Snack. When you play this, draw 1 card, 1 mana, and a green to kill this and draw an additional card.
Poro Snacks is a 3. I like that it pluses a lot. It draws 2 cards over the course of its lifespan. But the best part about it is in the Ornn deck. So in an Ornn deck, probably a 4 or 5. But as it stands, it's just a 3. It doesn't go in every single type of deck. But in these gear-centric decks, it could definitely find a home. The next card is going to be Apprentice Smith. It's a 2 energy, 2 might unit. When I move, reveal the top card of your main deck. If it's a gear, draw it. Otherwise, recycle it.
This is a 3-star. It's a 2 mana, 2 might with an upside. This is a pretty premium upside if your deck is built around it. If you can consistently draw 1 card and sometimes 2 cards, it's really good value. 2 mana, Brutalizer, a gear that when it's equipped, if it was attached this turn, you have an additional +2 might, and it gives 1. So 3 in total the turn it's equipped.
I want to give Brutalizer a 4-star. I think it's a premier item in green decks. I really like it, especially in green token style decks, because you can just keep attaching a Brutalizer over to monsters that keep on dying, and it just makes it really, really big. And it's just a cheap weapon. I enjoy it. The next card is going to be Desert Call. It's a 2 energy spell with repeat, and it's play a 2 might Sand Soldier unit token.
I'm going to give this one a 4. I am pretty up on Desert's Call. It's a 2 mana, 2 might unit with no ability, but it's just a good stat line to aggressively fight. But it's a repeat, so later on you can play 4 mana worth of things. So it helps you in the early game, but it's a 4-drop as well if you need it. So it's a really good mana filler. 2 mana, Emperor's Divide, a hidden card with an action. Move any number of friendly units to a battlefield to their base.
So I'm really high on Emperor's Divide. I really, really like it, especially in decks where you want to conquer a lot, where you can pull your units back and then you'll be able to protect them. It's really cool that it's an action, so you can still play it, and then and it being hidden, you can play it secretly and cheat out it in mana. I think it's really cool that you're able to protect monsters, and the best part about it is it's at any battlefield, so you can kind of use it kind of tricky when you're playing it as an action.
When I was first skimming all these cards, I was like, Emperor's Divide is kind of weird, and I didn't like it. But multiple cards from multiple battlefields is like game winning if your opponent's going in with a watch and you're like, nah, they're all out of there from everywhere. It's a really good way to save multiple units just for 2 mana alone. I don't think anything has the value like Emperor's Divide does if used in that circumstance. 2 mana. We already did Desert's Call. 2 mana, Feral Strength, reaction, repeat for 2, give a unit +2 might this turn.
I want to give Feral Strength a 3. So I like that it's a reaction, so you can respond to a lot of stuff, protect your units. And the repeat gives it a lot of flexibility, but I'm not 100% in what deck you'd played in. A lot of times, Irelia, you already have a lot of targeting in itself, but I think it's just a very, very, toolboxy card. You can use it in a very different ways, protecting your monsters really aggressively, but I don't know what you would play it in currently.
Yeah, because I think the 2 mana value on this is a lot. Because in like these green decks, they like having 1 mana up for all these 1 mana buffs, and the 2 mana buff that you want to do draws you a card as well.
Mhm.
So would you put this in over discipline? That's like the spot that it fills. I'd rather have a discipline to draw an additional card, but it's good value because you could repeat it and get the 4 buff.
The next card is going to be Guardian's Angel. It's a gear equipment with the cost of 1 power to equip. And it says, if I would die, kill Guardian Angel instead, heal me, exhaust me, and recall me. And it gives the unit +1 might.
Definitely a 5-star card. Our Zonia's Hourglass right now is a meta warping card that all green decks run to save their creatures. This is a Zonia's Hourglass that has a little tiny buff on it, which is not that big. But the thing is that it makes sure that the creature that you attach Guardian's Angel to is the one that gets revived. Sometimes versus Zonia's Hourglass, if you're versing a very skillful opponent, they can make it so that they're killing certain cards first in order to make your Zonia's Hourglass pop on the least impactful unit on your field. But GA, that will never happen because you get to pick which one's getting revived. 2 mana, 2 might, Lonely Poro, Death Knell. If I die alone, draw 1 card.
Lonely Poro is a really, really sad card. I hate looking at this card. I don't want this card to die alone. I don't want it. I want to draw one, but I don't want it to die sad. What the heck? But the thing I like about Lonely Poro is it's a good late game card where you could just kind of summon it. It kind of conquers a battlefield and it baits your opponent into taking over it. It's good early game, obviously, because it's a 2-drop, doesn't cost any power. One of the issues I have with it is sometimes I want my 2-drop to do a little bit more. This one is basically destined to die if you want it to draw a card. But I want to rate it a 3.
I agree. What I see people do nowadays is they have their units at battlefields and it comes back to them. They want to hold, so they'll pop like a little tiny terrible unit on there and then pull back. And it's normally like the Watcher and Kaisa. They'll like drop a Watcher and pull their Kaisa back. This fulfills that same purpose, but for a green deck. But in the early game, it has more stats, so when you buff it, it goes a little bit of a longer way. So I like it too. Also, they gave him the emo hair. 2 mana, 1 power, not so fast. Reaction, counter any enemy spell or ability that chooses a friendly unit or gear.
I want to rate this 5 stars. I think Not So Fast is a meta warping card just because it exists. You kind of always have to play around it. It's definitely not a 3 of type card unless the meta is all Victor, all these yellow kill you decks. But I like that you're able to protect your own units. You're able to protect gear, importantly. I think it's just a card that's going to be in every green side deck for all of Spirit Forge.
I agree. I like how it does abilities as well.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Disarming Rake. It's a 3 energy, 1 power, 2 might unit. When you play me, you may kill a gear.
It's 2 stars because of its power and its might cost is pretty terrible for its price. In green, though, there's really not other cards that do this. So if you're in like a double color combo that they're both struggling with gear removal, unfortunately, you're just going to have to like, just put him in your side deck because he's the best you got. But I don't like him. 3 mana, 1 power, Heart of Dark Ice. Tap. Give a unit +3 this turn.
So I think Heart of Dark Ice is a sleeper 4-star card. If I'm hype on Vanguard Armory being a card where you continually tap it and get value over turn after turn, Heart of Dark Ice is basically a cheaper version of that, but instead of creatures, you constantly threaten a 3 might boost that ends up ruining battle phases or ruining your opponent's hold. So I'm a big advocate of this card. I like it on Irelia. I think it's just a pretty interesting battle trick that just continually accrues value. So I like it a lot.
It's an interesting card they decided to print. I like it a lot.
Next we have Janna. It is a 3 energy, 1 power, 3 might unit with reaction. When you play me, heal your units here, then move an enemy unit from here to its base.
This is straight up one of the most broken cards ever. It's a 5-star. How is it a 3/3? It's like on raid stats. Yeah, it costs a power, but its reaction fully heal your units, all units, and then you get to fight or flight something back. If your opponent's going for like maybe like a Void Seeker into like a Death Ray, like they Void Seeker, and then when you get your Prio, you Janna, and then you heal it, and then you bounce a person back, and you negated the Void Seeker, got 3 might on the field because Janna and Fight or Flighted. That's insane. 3 mana, 4 might. Legion Quest Quartermaster. And as an additional cost to play me, you have to return a friendly gear to its owner's hand.
So I want to rate this card a 2, and I just want to say this card is so weird. It's a 3 energy card. It's overpowered, and oftentimes you're like, oh man, if it's overpowered, it's kind of broken. But you actually have to end up paying a power because 9 times out of 10, what you're bouncing back is going to be a gear token. I think Legion Quartermaster is a really interesting card because being able to bounce a gear is something that might not be possible in the color combination. And what's cool is you can bounce back like your own equipment, so you can re-equip it onto something else just in case. But it seems a little too gimmicky right now.
Yeah, in the future there could be 2 kind of use cases for it. It's like if there's ever an equipment that has like an enter the battlefield effect, it's cool. Or if you're playing a multiplayer game, does this hit your allies? Because are they considered friendly gears? So
If
maybe
it does, let us know. Let us know in the comments.
if you know the ruling to that, let us know in the comments to the multiplayer rule. 3 mana, 3 might, Ribbon Dancer. When I move to a battlefield, give another friendly unit +1 this turn.
I want to rate this card a 3 simply just because it's a card you can play on curve without any power, and it's well statted. It has a kind of an upside, and you can kind of play it in all these kind of like move around decks. So I see some potential in it. The next card is going to be Royal Entourage. It is a 3 energy, 1 power, 4 might unit. When you play me, ready or exhaust a legend.
In this set right now, it's a 3-star, but like if I just looked at this card, like, and there were like a million cards in the game, I would have to say this is 5 because there's no card that does what this card this ability does. Targeting your legend or your opponent's legend gives you a chance to double up on broken legend effects for yourself. But on your opponent's side, maybe in the future there's some crazy legend effect that happens only on your turn. You get to shut that down before you start your turn. You can play Royal Entourage, tap your opponent's legend, and you feel safe for the turn. So because it's such a unique card, I'm just going to give it a 5 stars right off the bat, even if it's not good right now, because it's so unique and there's no card that does it. 3 mana, 2 power, Serix Gauge, quick draw, +3 might.
I want to rate this card arguable. Is going to be a high 3 or a low 4 just because I love Quick Draw. I think Quick Draw being in the game is crazy. Having a reaction speed, just a +3 boost that ends up being a battle trick, I think is worth it for 2 power solely because, you get the jump on a battle phase, but then for the rest of the game, it's a renewable resource of continually getting a +3. So it's definitely on the high side of power, but being able just to be a battle trick makes this card so strong because Punch First is so strong even if you have the 2 power cost to it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like an initial burst of power, but then you can reuse it all the time. Even though it's a lot of mana, a lot of power, the reusability makes it versatile.
The next card is going to be Spellsonger. It is a 3 energy, 1 power, and it has the equip cost of 1 energy and 1 green power. As this is attached to a unit, copy that unit's text to its equipment effect text for as long as this is attached to it, and it gives no might buff.
This is 5 stars. Even if this was more mana, I think is the 5-star. Being able to double up on some game-breaking effects is crazy. Like Ornn has Deflect 2, and you have this on him. It gives him Deflect 4. Your opponent targeting them, basically they deramp 2 turns worth of mana. If you have 2 of these guys on something, he has Deflect 6, they're going to lose the game if they don't kill Ornn in that target. 4 mana, 1 power, 4 might, Aphelios. When you attach equipment to me, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. So you can do all 3 in a turn. Ready 2 runes, channel 1 rune exhausted, buff a friendly unit.
I want to rate this card 3 stars. I'm usually high up on a lot of stuff, but I feel like readying 2 runes, channeling 1 rune exhausted, and buffing a friendly unit is just a little too small for jumping over the hoop of getting equipment and equipping it onto Aphelios. Obviously, it might be a little too busted if it was draw a card, but I wish it did a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. Those effects are like kind of like the channeling one just makes up for his power. Maybe if it was channel 2, that might be
Oh, that,
that
that
would be
would
that would be
literally that'd be
crazy.
better than drawing a
Okay,
card
that'd
in
be
all
crazy.
honesty.
He's cool though.
And the next card is Navori Scout. It is a 4 energy, 4 might unit with deflect.
I'm gonna give him a 5. I think he's secretly OP
Yeah, no, I
because
love him.
Kiana is the same thing, but you get the power for the ability that when she conquers, you recycle or you put a rune back or draw a card. I feel like a lot of people put the rune back when they play Kiana, so you're like up front paying a power, and then you're like, oh, I get to get the power back. He just straight up a 4/4 deflect. He's Kiana, and you don't have to pay the upfront cost. He's really crazy in green decks, and I think he might replace Kiana in a lot of builds. 4 mana, 3 might, Stellar Corn Herder. When I move, draw a card.
5. It is literally barely any text on a card, but it's so simple, so broken. The issue is in a lot of decks, there are so many movements. Purple decks have Tide Turner, Ride the Wind. There's a bunch of ways to just abuse Stellar Corn Herder. You just need to be able to just get maybe 2 cards out of it, and then it's an insane card. And just equip it with stuff. It's unkillable. You end up having a president that draws you infinite things. I love this card.
Yeah, 1 card makes her good. 2 cards makes her crazy. 3 cards, it's like
It's oppressive.
you just win the game off her.
The next card is going to be Irelia Fervent. It is a 5 energy, 4 might unit with deflect. When you choose or ready me, give me +1 might this turn.
We've been doing a lot of 5 stars, but I can't be biased. It's just a 5-star. 5 mana, 4 might with the deflect, and her ability when you choose her or ready her. There's so many combo pieces that can do this that she is getting gigantic. She's moving around the battlefield. She has weapons. You have spells to protect her. She gets absurdly big. 5 mana, 5 might, 1 power. Jax, deflect 1. Each equipment in your hand has quick draw.
So right now, I don't know if Jax is the most powerful deck, but I want to rate Jax Unmatched a 5 stars solely because it's a build around me. It does something that no other card does. It gives your equipment quick draw. And I think in the future, this card could potentially just be obscene with stronger and stronger equipment. And I like that it protects itself with deflect.
Yeah, giving something like quick draw is such a crazy keyword. It's like accelerate for equipments.
Yep. And the thing about quick draw is now, sure, it's a battle trick, but people also have to understand you can do it in response to damage spells. Making your unit bigger, it's a protection spell also. And the next card is going to be Ornn Blacksmith. It is a 5 energy, 1 power, 5 might unit. When you play me or when I hold, look at the top 4 cards in your main deck. You may reveal a gear from among them and draw it, then recycle the rest.
I think he's a 2-star in decks that don't run gear, of course, but he's probably an all-star 4 in decks that have gear. If he gets 1 card off of his ability, like his on-field play, and you just get 1 card, he's already worth it. That hold effect is just like kind of like extra on the top. Like if you're able to get like 1 extra card from holding, like, whoa, Ornn's kind of like popping off this game. But you shouldn't go into expecting that he's getting that. Just that initial, you play him, you get a weapon, that's what you're putting him in your deck for. 5 mana, 1 power, 5 might. When you buff me, ready me.
I think this card is a 1. I don't see any applicable applications, honestly, because the issue is that a lot of cards are already good by themselves because they have accelerate. Having a pseudo accelerate with when you buff me, ready me, I think this card isn't as powerful and it doesn't have that much of effect. So you have to jump through hoops for this card to be good when you could easily just play any accelerate creature in the green.
Would you play him in Lee Sin?
Maybe, but
for 6 mana, you can buff him 1 and he has accelerate, basically.
Or you could play Tasty Fey Folk and it draws you a card, ramps you, pays your taxes, it does everything.
Yeah, he's just not good.
The next card is going to be Azir Ascendant. It's a 6 energy, 1 power, 6 might. With action, the cost of 1 power, choose a unit you control, move me to its location, and to its original location. If it's equipped, you may attach one of its equipment to me, and you only use it once per turn.
I don't think we've ever seen an action ability on a straight-up unit like this that wasn't like a reaction tap ability. It's so unique, And the ability itself is really strong, being able to have Azir dodge out or Azir fight in, trading with a tiny unit, taking the weapon, and going into fight for himself. I just don't know how to rate this, honestly. I'm just going to say a 3 to be safe because I know it's good, but I don't know how good it's going to be. 6 mana, 6 might, Guardian of the Passage. When I hold, you may return a gold gear. You may return a unit or a normal gear from your trash to your hand.
I think this card is a upside 3. Like, I think it's good just because it is a 6 energy card with no power and it's statted efficiently. And I think that returning a unit or a gear from your trash is such a there's very few cards that do that have that recycling power. So I think this might have some home somewhere, like a Reanimator deck or something trying to recruit a bunch of value, but it might just be Magical Christmas Land where it never happens.
That has cool tags. Shadow Isle Spirit. Maybe that in the future will be a thing.
Yep. And then now we have Tiana Crown Guard. It is a 7 energy, 2 power unit with 4 might. Deflect. While I'm in a battlefield, opponents can't score points.
I'm going to say this ability is a 6-star ability. The body is kind of rough. 7 mana, and it's only 4 might. It's so easy to kill her. I think I'll rate this card a 2-star because it's such a cool effect, but the body's so terrible that you have to really build your deck to fit her in your game plan. Last card, 10 mana, 5 might, 3 power, needlessly large Yordle, shield 5, and tank. I cost 2 mana and 1 power less for each point that you've scored holding this turn.
I think this is a 1. This card is too expensive. Even if you double hold, it's 6 and 1 power. It's overstated and it dies to Falling Star. It dies to so many cards.
This is
it doesn't even have deflect.
It's so random. Like, it's the most random card ever. Like, hold, get the discount for, I don't know. It could have been cool if it was, like, maybe cheaper.
In multiplayer, it literally costs 4. Hold 3 battlefields. Bam.
Yeah, you have to tell your allies that we have to hold all the battlefields so we can all get our needlessly large Yordles out.
We have to win the game to win the game more.
Yeah. Okay, and that is all of the cards for our Calm review. We're going to go into a Ornn deck list. Now, Ornn Champion, its reaction, get 1 power to use for to play gears and gear abilities. So it's Kaisa, but for gears. There's a lot of interesting Ornn decks. We decided to talk about a pretty fun one, which is Protect the King Ornn. But we also have, we Protect the King Ornn. He has Deflect 2, Weapon Master, and he has +1 for every friendly gear that's on the field, attached to him on the field, so he gets pretty big. He'll get massive, and you're able to protect him with a lot of protection spells and protection gears. But another card that you have in here, as sometimes you don't have Ornn, you have a Crown Guard. You can buff her up with all of your weapons, make sure that she is the king. She's ready to go. She's on the battlefield. Your opponent can't score points, and you slowly grind them up, and you win the game that way. In this version, you're only running 1 of Ornn's equipment, but you can play test your own and add in more Ornn's equipment. This one, when you play it, it makes your units ready. So if you have Crown Guard or Ornn on the field and you play the Shiralia for a little combo of you have a lot of mana, like 10 mana or 11 mana, you can play that, ready them, immediately move them in, and start conquering the battlefield. It gives the ability that +2 might and ganking while attached.
And the cool thing about green and it being in Ornn is you have a lot of cheap equipment like Doran Shield and Poro Snacks. These are great cards by themselves, but with Ornn's abilities, you pay them a lot cheaper and it's really efficient. And then speaking of cheap equipment that we love is Guardian Angel Zonia's Hourglass. So we already know Zonia's Hourglass is this meta warping card that everyone has to play around, but now we have Guardian Angel, a pseudo Zonia's Hourglass with a little bit more agency, all reduced by Ornn's effect. Super powerful to protect the President comp. And then one of my favorite cards in this deck is Spellsonger, being able to double up on Ornn's effect, this quadruple deflect. It's crazy.
Or you can make them really score no points.
Yeah.
Double score
no points. And then World Atlas is just another equipment. We're just doubling down on Ornn's equipment.
Then we have our green protection spells, Defy, and the new one, Not So Fast. And then we're also running Windwall in the main deck just because if we lose our Crown Guard or our Ornn, we lose the game. So we got to make sure that we just have the mana up for that.
And the cool stuff is you have a lot of removal in green and blue. You have Charm, just being able to suck up big units. And the thing about it is your guy is going to be big and fat with a bunch of equipments. Charming over a guy is almost automatically going to kill it. And then Rocket Barrage is cool pseudo tech. It kills gears. It kills units in base. It's a very powerful card.
And then lastly, because you're really hyper looking for those protection spells, you have Consult the Past and the new blue spell, Premonition, 2 mana, 3 power. You draw 3 cards, but you're doing this in the late game where you're like, I have to draw my Denies. I need to draw my Zone Use Hourglass. The early game you already ramped up, and then it doesn't matter about the mana at this point. It matters about the cheap protection spells. And that's it. So our question for you today is, what is your favorite comm card? What's yours?
I think my favorite comp card would be Tiana Crown Guard. I love holding strategies, and I think her being able to kind of steal a point away from your opponent is crazy. Like, you just play her, and then bang, your opponent doesn't get a point for holding on that one. And now they're kind of on a mad rush to try to score on your battlefield, but you kind of already have it kind of big. So I really can't wait to play with that card.
Yeah, if she pops up, she really pops off. My favorite might be is it Spellsonger?
Yeah, Spellsonger.
It's just so unique. So cool to double up on an effect like that.
I can't wait to double up on Ari.
Dude, double up on Ari, and then you also have, like, Sona in the deck, too. That's pretty nutty.
That was kind of good.
Okay, till next time. Bye.